You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Glee After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Glee After Show.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus.
Puts you right in the holiday spirit.
Vixen and Blitzen and all his reindeer.
Such a fun song, such a good, holiday spirit. Well, happy holidays, everybody. We're here.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays,
Happy
right?
holidays.
It's December. It feels right. So we're here doing another Glee after show for you all. Tonight is season 5, episode 8. Previously unaired Christmas, and this was all about Christmas tonight. We were just talking about it before we got on air. It was just really every song super Christmas.
Right. I thought it was interesting, especially because they aired this episode so early, and for one of the first times to actually Hanukkah was early.
Right, exactly.
And there was no Kwanzaa involved, so we didn't get much other than Christmas. But I do think that is the majority of the population that watched the show. So good for those people.
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought this episode was an interesting choice because we should jump into the premise of this episode, which was a little bit different than what we've seen Glee do, or completely different, I should say, than what we've seen Glee do in the past with their Christmas episodes. Tonight, we went back a year, so we still had the New York McKinley split going on, but back to the relationship statuses, everything from season 4 at Christmas. And the way that was explained at the beginning of the episode was Jane Lynch herself, not as Sue. Jane Lynch comes on and says that Fox executives wouldn't allow this episode to be aired, and that now they're finally airing this thing that was not deemed appropriate for the year before.
Right, which we here at ABTV have decided is not the truth.
Exactly. I was just about to say we call that is not the case.
We are calling your bluff, Jane Lynch.
Exactly. And we now believe that they, of course, filmed this episode in the sequence of season 5.
I mean, not trying to be so looking closely at everybody's figures, but I think that if you examine the actors now versus where they were then, you'll see that it's now.
Yeah, and you can also tell by hairstyles.
I was about to say hairstyles, and
Sam has long hair.
Yeah,
he still has long hair,
Cord definitely has grown out his hair over the course of their hiatus from season 4 to season 5, and you can see all those differences.
I almost wish if they were going to go back that they went back a couple seasons so we could have had everybody in Lima still.
I know. Wouldn't that have been fun? But I think that at that point, not to be a complete downer at the beginning of this episode, but you would want Corey in that.
Of course, that's probably why they didn't do that then.
But it felt a little strange to go back. It took me a minute. Maybe other people could jump right in. It took me a minute to realize, Blaine and Kurt were split at this point. And we had a lot of those little differences, and Santana had just broken up with her girlfriend.
Brittany.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you mean her. She had just broken off with Brittany.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, Becky was still in the same place pretty much, and but there were small differences for sure.
And Marley and Jake
were still together. That was the weirdest part.
Right.
Yes.
So lots of changes. What did you think of them doing this, kind of setting up the scenario, whether or not they filmed it in season 4 or season 5 really doesn't matter. Did we like the choice that they made?
Here's what I liked. I liked the concept. I thought that I was going to have more questions answered. At the top, when Jane Lynch was like, but we threw out the footage of Will and why he came back. The questions she briefly mentioned, those were the ones I wanted answered. And I didn't feel like they answered enough of my questions.
I couldn't agree more. I felt like if you were going to have this kind of episode, there had to be a reason for it. And at the conclusion of the episode, I wasn't sure what the point in going back a year was. I wasn't sure what it added to it. Like, I didn't get those answers.
I agree, especially if they're going to use that as a, like you said, Stephanie, a creative tool in this episode that even if they're shooting it during the regular season 5 schedule, I don't think there was no point in going back.
Yeah, we obviously know it's smart that you brought this up again, not to talk about it, but we obviously know that this isn't footage that they previously filmed because Finn was not in it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's one of those things where it would have felt like a gaping hole had they gone back to season 3.
But I don't know. It still kind of feels like a gaping hole that they went back one season because he was there and he was teaching.
Well, yeah, it felt like he should have either been
mentioned
in at the McKinley location, or if he was with, I can't remember if he was with Rachel at that point or not. I guess they were split in season 4.
It needed to be mentioned.
Yeah, but I just wanted him in one of those 2 locations or mentioned in some way. It felt strange to make this choice, especially in light of that tragedy.
How weird would it have been if they did air unaired footage and he was in it? That would have been
I mean,
startling and also nice.
I was going to say, like, I would think at first it would have been, like, hard to watch and difficult to see, but something, depending on the footage, it's kind of something comforting, especially if there were Finchel scenes in that. I think people would have gone nuts for that.
Yeah, I agree. There has to be unaired footage somewhere of that, and I bet maybe as a 1 year or something that.
Yeah,
I hope
that
we
so.
see something at some point.
It would be fun to even get like a flashback of that. I don't think probably enough to have an entire episode,
right.
but flashbacks of it, maybe Rachel remembering what have you. So hopefully, Glee writers, that will happen. That being said, let's talk about tonight's episode. Sue is being back to her typical mean self. She's,
kind of like
at the beginning.
Yeah, she could have gone even meaner though. I mean, she ends up obviously giving them the trophy, so she wasn't the Grinch at the end. So I guess that's what the Grinch does do though.
Yeah,
but the thing is that we've known that Christmas is a season that Sue really takes seriously, and she honors like the whole message of Christmas and the respect and honor that you're supposed to give each other during that holiday. So I think it would be out of character if she did go really mean, even though we've seen that. But we know that Sue really does enjoy Christmas or the holidays.
Yeah. Was I the only person who thought that Becky's take on a green Christmas was super cute?
I thought that it was worthy of the actual word.
Right. I was like, recycling green. Like, she found all green products. Like, I was like, in so many ways, this is far more green than creating a green.
It's not like I thought that she was going to paint everything green, but it wasn't going to be from the trash can. It was going to all be from store-bought, something that wouldn't be green, whatever, styrofoam, whatever you want to be. But it was all green and green.
Yeah. I was like, you found a new and unique way of making a green Christmas. I was impressed, to be honest.
Agreed.
But Sue did not agree, and Becky was upset about it. That was, like, you see.
Tears.
Yeah, tears.
Sore loser. Her throwing that instrument against the wall.
And this season, we've seen lots more of Becky's emotions. A lot of the time, she's kind of played the sidekick to Sue, and this season, we're seeing really some great character development for her.
We talked about how for kind of the first time ever, she's filling the Britney role almost with her one-liners.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And tonight I have special needs, and one of my special needs is mouth sex with your face. Like,
Sam.
Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, crazy. I mean, fun. I mean, they're
funny, but like you don't know whether to laugh or be kind of appalled.
Right, exactly. And I have to say though, with Britney, it went on that same line at times.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Britney, we have some great news and gossip about the 100th episode.
You're gonna have to stay tuned.
Exactly. So stay tuned. We'll get to that. It's really exciting stuff. So that'll be good. And also we had this audition for the Nativity scene, which was, I like that Roxy's already laughing at
I know
me.
I only giggle because before this, just being the ignorant human being I am, I was like, guys, what is a nativity?
I mean, we've all been there. We all have those kinds of questions at times.
Thank God for you guys.
But that being said, this was quite the little audition process, and we
It was
see
cute that they auditioned together. That was sweet.
it was sweet, but Bree and Kitty, Marley, really facing off again. We haven't seen that relationship in that kind of face-off mode in a while.
I actually liked what they did with that storyline, though. I was very happy that it wasn't just. I liked that Kitty was almost self-conscious there, you know?
Yeah.
She didn't feel like she earned it. And it wasn't just like, I know I can beat you, and then that was the end of it. It was like, you know, it was this tough exterior, and then really there was motive behind it. So I thought that was nice.
Right, and
Also,
she-
it was like self-realization of her actions and who she is as a person, and then it was also humbling to see her like that. That she wasn't the first one to step up to the plate and want that role. I like that side of her.
Me too.
Yeah, I agree. She definitely was showing vulnerability, and that's not something we get from her very often. She often does have that tougher exterior, and I wanted to see more of that. That was one storyline that I felt like we got a taste of, and I wanted to see her. In the end, she wins the part, she doesn't win the part, or she does. I'm just being crazy.
Who are you talking about now, Kitty?
Kitty.
They do that whole song so that they can have her get the part.
Right, exactly. Okay, so I was like, as I'm
She
going...
doesn't even audition for it.
Right, so she gets the part in the end, but I wasn't sure if that was going to make her be the stuck-up girl that she was before, or if she was going to...
No, she seemed appreciative of it. It was sweet.
Yeah.
It was sweet when it happened. I liked that they did that for her. Even though they all wanted the part, they realized she needed it.
Right, and...
So that was
sweet.
nice.
It was a nice moment, fitting of the holiday episode, for sure. And we're going to talk about all the songs in that audition process in a little bit. But should we move on to Kurt? And this was a sad storyline for me. I just...
To me, I kept feeling like they were setting us up for something that we... Why? Like, what was the point of this storyline? Why do we need to know about Cody robbing them and, like, basically raping Kurt if I don't have that... Like...
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that not what happened? I mean, he tied him up and, like, got dirty with him? Did I miss that?
I think that he tied him up so that he could
so he
rob
can
rob them. I don't think there was...
Oh,
He let him on.
Yeah, he let him
Sexy
on.
Santa
He wanted
let him
he
on.
flirted with
Okay.
him, but so he tied him up so that he could.
See, I was like, I felt like it was implied that he tied him up, had his way with him, and then, like...
No, I think that they were like, getting busy, but then he was like, he said no, and so he tied him up and robbed him. I think that it was not what you're insinuating.
Jesus. This was just weird to me. I don't care. I just didn't care about this.
Well, what I wanted was this happened, so then and I know that they, like, at the end, there just wasn't, to me, enough of a closure on this. Was it so that he could bond with Rachel and Santana? What was the purpose?
I thought it was going to show how they got the job at the restaurant they were working at least.
Yeah.
Or something.
But then we just saw them at the window job, or how Kurt got past Blaine cheating. Like,
Yeah, it just, to me, felt
flat.
It fell flat, and also why, I mean, Kurt, obviously a very attractive man, wanted to be with him, but I wasn't sure, was he trying to, like, get over Blaine with him? Like, what was the reason he was...
I can't answer your question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kurt did say the line that, like, newly single, and when he was flirting with Sexy Santa, so it could have been just a rebound in a way.
Yeah.
And it's holidays.
It's true, hard to be alone, but I don't know. It just, for me, there wasn't a real point to it. And,
Cody ends up being an ass anyway, so.
Yeah,
And did they ever get their stuff back?
I guess they did. I mean, because Santana moves in and they seem to have all the stuff.
I don't think they got their stuff back, but it's not answered. It will never be answered unless we do another flashback of the day after Christmas or the day after the Christmas special.
New Year's.
Yeah, but I mean, it just, if this actually happened, it would have come up. I know they made like a pact not to tell anybody, but like it just would have come up.
Yeah, and also, have we seen the last of Sexy Santa? Is he gonna
I sure hope so.
come back around in some way? Like, I
don't know how to answer your question.
Because I what I'm trying to figure out...
He was sexy, though. I can give him that.
Well,
I agree,
yes, his
but...
abs were amazing. But they did also say that he this wasn't the first time he's robbed people. He robbed the store that they were working at.
Yeah.
So I think we were led to believe that they caught him. So I don't know.
Maybe I'm just searching for like a deeper meaning of the storyline because I'm like, will he come back? What's the deeper?
Why did they do this to us?
Yeah, I was like, it's supposed to be a happy holiday like episode, and it just did not feel that way. But that's okay, cause we'll get to all of that, and maybe there is some deeper meaning to it. Well, let us know what you're thinking. Are you loving Sexy Santa, having enough of McKinley's drama? What's going on with you? Go on iTunes, rate, comment. Again, we love reading all of your comments. We go on YouTube, iTunes. You can tweet me. I get them all.
Woo!
So
We love our gleeks.
exactly.
Yeah.
So much fun reading everything. Love hearing all of your opinions. That being said, let's jump into the songs tonight.
Wait, can we talk about Rachel and Kurt and them actually working as elves?
Oh, yes.
What
What do you have to say about that? Because
No,
just
it
like,
was just,
okay.
I think it was just crazy.
Well, I mean, we mentioned it off air that it was an interesting episode for Rachel in that we've always seen her be really proud of her
Judaism.
yeah, being Jewish and having that background. And tonight she was just like, I'm a sexy elf. And I don't know if that was to get a paycheck, what the purpose
And
of
the
that
inappropriateness of Santana being
Oh.
Mrs. Claus to all those kids.
I mean, yeah, what you're talking about right
Brutally
now, though,
honest.
Offensive.
it does go into our first song, which is Here Comes Santa Claus. So we're talking about them being
Right.
in the elf costumes. And I thought that, once they get the job and they're trying to, because Santa Claus is obviously wasted, and they do this number and it doesn't impress the kids. But at least as like a standalone number, this was like, it was cute. And obviously it was too prepared for them to do last minute, like,
You and I are right on the same page on this. I literally wrote cute but not spectacular. It was
if I saw that at a
enjoyable.
mall, I would stop and watch for a minute and then I'd continue on with my shopping.
Right, exactly. I literally thought of like here in Los Angeles, the Beverly Center.
Yeah.
I would stop. I would be around there for a minute and then continue on. Love their voices, but I could hear it from in the store.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was good. So this was my favorite number of the night, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, and I have to say that I just love this song to begin with. And it, of course, is New Directions and Will singing it. And it just kind of reminded me of past Glee Christmases, and I can tell that Roxy and I are going to disagree again.
This is the end of our agreement for the night.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, to pick a song for what they were doing, yes, it was very literal.
Yeah.
They were rocking around the Christmas tree. I get why they picked the song. It was just so fine.
I mean, it was sweet, and I think that that's what I was looking for, especially with like Sexy Santa and all of that going on. I just wanted a sweet like holiday number, and I think to me they accomplished that. in
Yeah,
this.
I agree. This was probably the least offensive
Yeah.
musical number in this episode. It was fun, and they got that Christmas tree up really fast.
I know, impressive.
At least it fit with the story, and and it didn't personally take a jab at me.
So
It was just, to me, it was so fine. It's fine.
You're saying mediocre. I get it.
It was simple.
I hear ya.
It was really
Yeah.
simple.
Sure.
So, the Chipmunk song. Okay, I can remember. This is
We have, is that Mary Boy Child?
I'm skipping songs tonight, guys. Mary's Little Boy Child. What did we think?
Did I even have I mean, this was the unique Marley, they were the audition song, right? That's
Yeah,
what this one
exactly.
was?
Yeah,
Yep.
when they're all in the way.
I thought it was cute that they were all auditioning together. I thought the dance moves were cute. It was fun to watch. This song, I was like, well, okay. Again, I was like, oh, okay.
I didn't see the point in stripping down to like skivvies.
Yeah,
Pretty much, but I mean,
seemed unnecessary.
Yeah, very unnecessary.
Other than, like, I suppose Tina and Marley both have rockin' bods, so
Oh yeah, and
other than that.
and I'm not saying, but there was really no point to that when they're auditioning for Nativity scene.
Right.
I agree with you. For me, it just felt like an odd choice in the midst of this episode. It didn't fit for me, so I was a little underwhelmed. I didn't hate it. It was okay.
And Beast was like, that really touched me. And I'm like, it was basically like a stripper show.
Right.
Really
Like a
was.
high class
Yeah,
strippers
they
show.
were getting a little naughty on the high school stage.
It was pretty though. I don't know. It's again fine.
Yeah, I was just like, to me, it was just not the best, not the worst, just right there in the middle. Okay. Now to the Chipmunk song. I want you guys to talk about this first.
Unfortunately, this was the third song in a row for me that was fine.
So
I hate to say it,
the thing I
guys.
gotta say, it would have been. It's a fun song. We all know and love it.
yeah, it's
I
Alvin
don't-
and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, I think they didn't really live up to the potential of what the song could have been.
Even though the premise was cute with the balloons and it's like
Sucking helium. I mean, who hasn't done that? That's awesome. But
the views here expressed by AFTERBUZZ, like we do not recommend brain cells pop that way.
Yeah.
no.
But it is pretty awesome.
Okay, and there's an Australian radio show that does it with their interviewees, so you should YouTube that as well. It's really fun to watch. Like
That's awesome.
Orlando Bloom, and I think One Direction has done it. Like it's a very fun thing to do.
We have to start doing that here.
I mean, come on. Oh, and our
work
like
on
predictions can be with
That is fabulous.
helium balloons.
will
That
work on
being
that.
said, for me, the original of the song is really cute, and I just don't know that it was something Glee needed to go there and do. To me, it was like, okay, they're trying to do something original, but I didn't know.
It's kind of like we've done so many holiday songs. Which one should we pick to throw in here?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. To me, again, kind of in the middle. Not the best, not the worst. Love Child.
It's my favorite song in the episode.
Supremes. Unique Marley and Tina.
I mean, after the last 3 songs, I was like, please give me something good. And this for me was just like, yep. It made me really miss Mercedes because I thought she would have crushed it. They did an amazing job though. And it was fun to watch. It was cute. I liked why they were singing it. Unique rocked it. And the dresses were amazing. I thought that this was really great. And I'm just like the biggest Diana Ross. I'm just a huge fan.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this one. I thought it was
For you, it was fine?
like it was a little better than fine. It was like a 7 or an 8 on the scale. It was like I wanted something a little more from it. Maybe a fourth person. I wasn't sure what it needed or why I was feeling like there was just like this little bit that just could have been a little better for me, but I enjoyed it.
The thing with this number is that, yes, it was crazy and outrageous, and the point was to, get Kitty to convince Kitty to take the role.
So it worked.
And it worked in that way. And just, I don't know, being the Catholic that I am, I found it, like Kitty said, so sacrilegious and so offensive. I was like, oh, I cannot watch this.
But that was the point. At least
Yes,
they
and I get
acknowledged that
it.
that's what they were
and
doing.
They did touch upon that, but like this, I don't know, it really
It bothered you?
Yes, it really did.
Yeah, I couldn't get over that part of it. So ending the night though, we had Away in a Manger, right? Was writing quickly here and tried to make sure I had it right. So Kurt, Rachel, Santana, and of course New Directions. It was the final number of the night.
I thought what I wrote down was Kitty is perfection. Becky is baby Jesus. Ha ha.
Yeah,
Like that's what I noticed from the number. That is all I noticed from the number. Like
weirdly, I wanted, and I think I've been saying it all night tonight, I wanted a fun holiday episode, and in that I wanted a fun final number. I wanted
this was certainly not that.
exactly. It was a very down, serious song, and they did a beautiful job. Their voices are phenomenal, always. I mean, with
Kitty
Glee, you
also
can-
she just looked she looked perfection. for
right,
this.
Totally.
100%. Becky, honestly, as the baby, kind of freaked me out for a second.
Yeah,
I mean that's insulting.
Yeah,
It was, but the thing is that there were so many outrageous, insulting numbers in this episode, very over the top, and I didn't mind that this was a more calmer, more serious. They're trying to take it back now, and they kind of ended on a more respectable note with this episode.
Right. I just liked Kitty's character arc in this, and this was like the end of that. So for me, again, like I definitely didn't hate it, but I agree with you. Where other than I loved Love Child just because I love the song, but other than that, there was no like, and that's not a holiday song.
Yeah.
So other than that, there wasn't one that was like, this holiday I'm gonna play this during the holiday. Like,
I can remember in past years on Glee watching like Finn and Rachel in the Christmas tree lot and just being like, oh, it's the holiday season. And mind you, it's early this year. They aired the episode early, and also it just didn't feel like that to me.
I wanted love to be in the air.
Yeah.
Like holiday, love, romance, friendship. Like it just wasn't.
Yeah, and that's okay. I mean, they went a different direction. It's fine. It just, for me, I was missing that Glee season 2 experience.
I'm glad
I
they
guess.
didn't go with romantic relationships in this episode because all the relationships are at a different point.
Right, that's
in
true.
This
That is
episode.
true.
So it
That's
would
a
have
good
been
point.
It
all
is-
the more confusing.
Also, Splitsville. I mean, it
Yeah.
really is at this point in that season. It was a lot of
Right.
people.
The luckiest
split.
part about this episode not being my favorite was that this week's news and gossip absolutely was.
Yes, and so let's get into it. News and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
We teased it earlier tonight that we had news on the 100th episode, which airs March 18th. I can hardly wait for that. It's
Oh
going to be
my
amazing. So Ryan Murphy has taken to Twitter confirming lots of people's return to Glee. We always miss, our original cast so
Right.
much.
Until it's out of his mouth, I don't believe it.
Right. So
he's the person.
He has confirmed, and Diana Agron herself has confirmed that she will be back. So we'll be getting Quinn, and we haven't had Quinn in so long.
His tweet about it was just like, Diana back for 100th. Like,
Yeah, Diana is in capital letters for Glee's 100th, and she says, there will be news today, and I think it might make many of you happy. It makes me happy, too. So, great news for that, and she says, going to be fun, Glee 100.
I think the last episode Diana was in was the Valentine's Day episode when she hooked up with.
oh my God, that's so
Santana.
long ago.
So long ago.
Yeah.
And Heather Morris, who of course had a baby over the summer, she will be back as Brittany. So more amazing one-liners from her.
Woo!
And Amber Riley, who of course competed and won, I should say, with Derek Huff this season on Dancing with the Stars. She's should be back as well, according to.
Congrats.
Yeah,
congrats,
so
Amber.
excited. We love Derek and Amber around here.
Oh my God, both.
Yeah, amazing. So we're super excited for their win. Mark Salling will be back, of course, Puck. Harry Shum Jr., Mike. And Kristen Chenoweth, which was the one out of left field a little bit for me. I mean, love her, but
Miss her.
Miss her. April Rhodes, love her character, love
Her interactions with Will.
Yeah,
Like,
so,
need her.
I mean, they're really pulling out the
And
big
you know
guns
what?
for this.
It'd be so cool if they got Idina Menzel back
Yeah,
in this episode.
yeah.
Then we're gonna have like Christian and Idina together in this episode.
See,
oh my God, that'd be amazing.
I love that everybody's back, but I'm a little nervous because, like, how are they going to tie this all in?
I agree with you. I'm thinking like some sort of reunion at McKinley. Like there's only like so
I
many
hope
ways.
it's not flashbacks only, because then I'll be
That would-
annoyed.
yeah.
No, I think
be cool.
it'll be a reunion of some sort. And I have to say, not again to be the downer of this, because apparently I can't not mention this. It'll be really sad that Corey's not a part of
Of
it.
course,
Yeah,
of course.
I mean, but very excited for the episode regardless. I mean, they're really bringing back everybody together.
And also that they also have the fans, the audience, can pick what songs that they're gonna sing in that 100th episode.
Yeah, so it'll be a fun one. So definitely check out, I think it's fox.com to find out more information about that.
Cool.
And E! Online is reporting Leah Michelle, of course, is again talking about Corey, who, and kind of the support that she's gotten from her co-stars. We talked about in a News and Gossip a few weeks ago that she, of course, spent time at Kate Hudson's home after his passing, and she says, "All I know is that Glee is my home. That's my family." And it just made sense that we all wanted to go back together so that we would have each other's support. And I love everyone there so much. And she's just, really mentioning that cast is as close as they seem.
I'm actually pretty glad that she's still talking about it a lot, because for me at least, like, it's still so unsettling that I'm appreciative of. I had a friend the other day who turned to me and was like, "Oh, like didn't Finn die or something?" And I was like, "What? Like how?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?" And it's just like it's still so new and fresh to me, and it's such a huge deal that I enjoy. not that I enjoy, but I am appreciative again of when people are talking about it.
For her, I feel like it's still so raw that it probably is right. And also, I know from being on these press lines, she's asked about it. It's not people like I know I get tweets about it and things like that are accusing her of, using it for whatever gain. And I think that that's probably an unfair assumption to make because she's asked about it and it's still raw to her. So of course she's going to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's better than her saying no comment.
Right. I mean, because that just feels cold at that point. Yeah. And I mean, you have to feel for her that she's having 100 reporters ask her about this.
It almost probably feels like surreal at this point,
Yeah, 100%. But again, wishing his family, her, everybody all the best in that. That being said, Glee stars are still trying to do good for many organizations. Of course, Kevin McHale and Harry Shum Jr. Have gotten together to encourage fans to donate to the Invisible Children, and that's an organization that seeks to end the use of child soldiers in Central and East Africa. We see this again and again with Glee stars. They're really into the giving back, and I think that if you have the kind of platform that Glee has given them, it's a really important thing to do. So they're asking fans to donate $10, and they will give you a chance to win a super secret Glee experience. So definitely check that out. I mean,
it's super secret.
I mean, it's super secret.
It must be good.
It'll be good. I'm guessing a set visit maybe feels like maybe a good thing to get.
Or maybe even like background role or
yeah,
something.
Exactly. And so they say that they'll have some special guests. We'll have some friends and some castmates that are going to take part, but we want to keep it a secret.
Speaking about just because you mentioned Kevin McHale, some news and gossip in my life, I was going back through The Office and I was watching season 4 and he just randomly pops up in one episode as the pizza man, and I just think it's so funny always when you watch what these Glee characters were doing, like pre-being superstars, you know? He just like had this role where he had a couple lines as the pizza man, and I was like,
I mean,
Artie, what are you doing there?
It's so funny that you mentioned that over Thanksgiving. It's so fun to even go back beyond Glee and look at like Friends. Like you can find all these people who have gone on to have massive careers out of it,
awesome.
and Glee stars are definitely having massive careers right now. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, though.
One more thing that over Thanksgiving, our very own Maria Menounos, she had that Thanksgiving dance wars.
Oh, that is very true.
And a lot of celebrities got involved in that, including Amber Riley. Woo! She got herself and her family got involved in the dance wars.
And Derek, I believe, was also involved.
Yes, we started the dance wars with Derek Huff from
the Huff
Dancing
family.
with the Stars, and then Mark Ballas and Amber Riley got involved, and then
Julianne.
Yeah, Julianne Hough and Kate Hudson. I was just told today that Kate Hudson has saw the video and she loved it too. So
yeah, and I know that
we're hoping to do Christmas ones. We think
it'll be really fun. Excited. So
maybe. That
being said, let's go to predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
How do you predict anything off of this episode?
This was a hard. I was about to say,
really can't.
It's difficult. But we should say Glee will be back in February, so we have a long break till new episodes start in February for Glee.
It's just I know they don't do it on purpose, but the hiatuses on the show, they just bring me out of it. I guess it does make me, absence makes the heart grow fonder. So I suppose
we'll be excited to come back and break down that episode, I'm sure, in February.
And we're also moving to Tuesdays, too.
Tuesdays, February 25th, I believe, is the episode date.
So, I mean, I guess we have to look back at Puppet Master in order to predict what's going to happen next time.
I was going to say that I feel like Blaine and Kurt are going in a not positive direction at this point. He missed going to see him. I feel like there's some turmoil there.
I don't know. I mean, it was weird because Blaine was all messed up on this gas. So, like,
true.
I can't tell what was a real conversation, what was a conversation with a Muppet, or what was a conversation he thought was with Muppet, but was actually Kurt.
Any predictions for Jake and Bree and Marley and that whole?
I actually think that Marley and Jake are going to get back together, even though I love Ryder.
Yeah, I was like, as hard as Ryder's trying, he's just the guy who wants to swoop in at the last minute. But I don't know. I think Marley wants to go back to Jake.
It's gonna be a tough.
You can't help who you love.
It's a tough wait
First love.
till February. So, thank you for hanging out with us and indulging our Christmas special fun.
Oh, guys!
I know till February, but
that's hard.
You can find us on Twitter in the interim if you go back and watch our DVDs or these last few episodes and have any new theories for us. I'm at Stephanie Wenger.
At Roxy Striar.
And at Serafini TV.
Thanks so much. See you in February. Crazy.
Have a good holiday.
Yeah, happy holidays, everybody.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later, Gleeks!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.